Okay, this video we're going to discuss the battles, some of the major battles, and the U.S.'s or the United States' path to victory during the American Revolution. So the first major battle to occur for the United States is the Battle of Trenton. You all might know this as George Washington's crossing the Delaware River. That's this picture right here. Washington and his troops surprise the British. They cross the Delaware River and sneak upon them. So they're in Pennsylvania. They sneak across into New Jersey. They continue on to Trenton. There's a major battle. This all happens on Christmas, 1776, and it's one of the first major victories for the American colonists versus the British. They captured or killed 900 British troops, and this battle is extremely important because it convinces more Americans to join the Continental Army and fight against the British. Because now they've actually seen, hey, we've won a battle, we have a chance. So this battle is important because it convinces Americans to join the fight. The Battle of Saratoga. It's also known as the turning point of the war. British leader General Burgoyne was marching south from the Canadian border. He's running low on supplies. They were fighting up in the northern part of New York, Vermont border today. He runs into an American army led by General Horatio Gates. The British begin their attack on September 19th, 1777, and they fight until October 7th, 1777. The Americans force the British to retreat to Saratoga, New York. British are exhausted and low on supplies. The Americans surround them while they're trying to rest. They surround the fort and fire on them until Burgoyne surrenders. And this changes the war. Battle of Saratoga is extremely important. Changes the war for two reasons. The first reason showed the Americans actually had a chance to win the war. So this is the first time that, we've won some battles, but this battle actually showed America they had a chance to win the war. And then the second reason it's important because we actually gain some allies. We actually get some help from other countries who also want to fight Great Britain, England, and they see the Americans winning some battles, and it changes their mind to actually join and help us. So France and Spain and the Netherlands are all happy to help us in some way or another defeat England. So France joins the war after the Battle of Saratoga. France is still angry about the outcome of the French and Indian War. Remember the way that ended. France wasn't happy. They wanted to weaken the British Empire, secretly aiding the Americans. So prior to the Battle of Saratoga, they were sort of helping us, but nobody knew about it. After the battle, France publicly declares its support of America and actually recognizes America as an independent country from England. So they are the first country to recognize our independence after the Declaration of Independence. Spain also joins and fights. They vow to support us with naval forces, boats and things like that. And the Netherlands loaned the United States money to help them financially support the war efforts. Now we can use that money they give us for supplies and uniforms and guns and ammunition and things like that. So now America's actually got some help in fighting this war against this British Empire. The British moved the fight from the north to the south. The British generals thought that the south was where the war needed to be fought. So General Nathaniel Greene was in charge of the Southern Army. He wins the Battle of Cowpens in South Carolina, and the Battle of Cowpens was very similar to the Battle of Saratoga in that America was able to surround the British and defeat them. The length of the war is starting to take its toll on British. They're worn out and beaten. The British thought that this war would be over very quickly, so they didn't want to have to be fighting as long as they were fighting, and they were kind of getting this attitude of, why are we still fighting this? This is ridiculous. General Cornwallis moves the British Army to Yorktown, Virginia to try and cut off colonial supplies from heading south, because with the war being focused in the south, the northern states at this point, the British thought they were colonies, are sending supplies down south. So Yorktown, Virginia is a big port, and General Cornwallis, the British general, feels like if he can stop these supplies from coming, they can stop the war. So the Battle of Yorktown is the last major battle of the American Revolution. By moving to Yorktown, Washington is able to trap Cornwallis by land, and the French are able to blockade him or corner him with their naval forces. Yorktown is the last major battle of the Revolution, and the British surrender on October 19th, 1781. Most people feel the Americans won because they were actually fighting for a purpose, their livelihood. And like I mentioned earlier, the British have kind of given up. The British soldiers are like, why are we fighting this war? This is getting long. This is annoying. The Americans really had no chance, and they're beating us. We're looking bad. It's embarrassing. So there was a lot of lackadaisical attitude by the British soldiers, which really led to the Americans winning the war. So those are some of the major battles and how America won the American Revolution. In our next video, we're going to discuss government and the forming of government during and after the American Revolution. Thank you so much.